Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I am Senior Master Sergeant Joseph Sparlin, your narrator for today's ceremony. On behalf of the Commander, United States Air Force Expeditionary Center, Major General Mark D. Kammerer, welcome to today's official Change of Command ceremony, in which the reins of responsibility and leadership will pass from Colonel Doug Jackson to Colonel Travis L. Edwards. The Change of Command ceremony is a military tradition deeply rooted within our history and dates back to the time of Frederick the Great of Prussia. During this era, military organizations developed flags unique to their organizations, with specialized colors and designs. When the soldiers followed their leader into battle, their flag was used to provide a very visible point around which the members of the unit could rally during the battle. To this flag, both commander and soldiers of a unit would dedicate their loyalty, trust, and allegiance. The formal Change of Command ceremony afforded these troops the opportunity to witness a new leader assuming their dutiful position. Throughout today's ceremony, you will be given various cues to stand and be seated. As a reminder, civilian guests should place their right hand over their heart during the national anthem. This ceremony is considered an indoor event, and all military personnel should stand at attention during the national anthem. The formation commander for today's ceremony is the Vice Commander, 621st Contingency Response Wing, Colonel Kyle A. Benwitz, and bearing the wing flag is the Command Chief, 621st Contingency Response Wing, Chief Master Sergeant Amy L. Riley. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the arrival of the official party and remain standing for the playing of ruffles and flourishes, the presentation of the colors, the singing of our national anthem, and the invocation.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
I invite you to join me in a moment of prayer. Heavenly Father, we pause to invoke your presence upon this auspicious occasion. As the guidon passes hands from commander to commander, we ask your blessing upon Colonel Doug Jackson, his wife, Carrie, their children, Lincoln and Nevada, as he prepares to embark upon a prestigious fellowship. We ask your blessing upon Colonel Travis Edwards, his wife, Michan, their children, Carrion, Brennan, and Lauren, as he prepares to lead the world-only Contingency Response Wing. We pause to reflect upon those deployed today in harm's way and look forward to their safe return home. We pray for each and every Devil Raider deployed on all 7 continents, who open air bases, enable humanitarian relief, advise joint commanders, and who build partnerships throughout the world. Give them health, give them hope, keep them well, and to those who wish us harm, let's give them hell. Amen.
Thank you, Sergeant Long and Chaplain Edelstein. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. At this time, it is my pleasure to introduce our official party. The Commander, United States Air Force Expeditionary Center, Major General Mark Kammerer. The Commander, 621st Contingency Response Wing, Colonel Doug Jackson and his wife, Carrie. The incoming Commander, Colonel Travis Edwards, his wife, Michan, their children, Carrion, Brennan, and Lauren, as well as his brother, Lieutenant Colonel Roderick Edwards, and his wife, Shalena. We would also like to recognize our distinguished visitors and honored guests attending today's ceremony. Please hold applause until all have been introduced. The Mobilization Assistant to the United States Air Force Expeditionary Center, Brigadier General Adrian White. The Air National Guard Advisor to the United States Air Force Expeditionary Center, Brigadier General Michael Bank. The Command Chief, United States Air Force Expeditionary Center, Chief Master Sergeant Anthony Green. The Command Chief, United States Air Force Expeditionary Center, the spouse of the Vice Commander, 621st Contingency Response Wing, Miss Michelle Benwitz. The spouse of the Command Chief, 621st Contingency Response Wing, Mr. Mike Riley. The Commander, Joint Base McGuire-Dix Lakehurst, and Commander, 87th Air Base Wing, Colonel Bridget Gelati, and the Command Chief, Chief Master Sergeant Tony Jenkins, and his spouse, Kim. The Commander, 305th Air Mobility Wing, Colonel Scott Wiederholt and his spouse, Pam, and the Command Chief, Chief Master Sergeant Rudy Gomez. The Commander, 514th Air Mobility Wing, Colonel Bill Gutermuth, and the Command Chief, Chief Master Sergeant Tiger Plott. The Commander, 108th Wing, Colonel John Cosgrove, and the Command Chief, Chief Master Sergeant Holly Rivera. The Commanding Officer Marine Aircraft Group 49, Colonel Lonnie Cobb. We are also privileged to have with us today commanders and senior enlisted leaders from across the Joint Base, friends who have traveled from MacDill Air Force Base, honorary commanders, and special guests of the 621st Contingency Response Wing. Thank you all so much for attending, and we appreciate your dedication and endless support. Ladies and gentlemen, General Kammerer.
Good morning. Man, this is a great day. I mean, it's a great day for United States Air Force. It's a great day for 621st Contingency Response Wing. So I just say, wow. You know, I think what makes it better is when you're surrounded by excellence. And I think today we are surrounded by excellence. So how about this team that's kind of kicked us off here? So Senior Master Sergeant Sparlin, you are the voice of the 621st CRW, man. Well done. Sergeant Long, Chris, I don't know where you're at. Stand by. Here you are. That was fantastic. I mean, you really inspired me with that rendition of our national anthem. And I got to say, Chaplain, I am always humbled when we stop and we pause at a ceremony like this and we invite in the blessing of our Creator. And I think that is so important that we do that. And thank you for being here to kick that off just right for us, too. So, Colonel Benowitz, that wing, you're looking tremendous. Now, I know you're standing there, and some of y'all are in the sun, and I'm going to talk for a while. So will you please take charge of the wing and put them at ease? All right. I am truly honored and I am humbled to be here today to transfer the incredible responsibility of command from one outstanding leader to another. I want to begin by saying welcome. I want to say welcome to our community partners and leaders. Thank you for your attendance here. But more importantly, I want to say thank you for the amazing partnership that we have with you. It's the support that you give to our Devil Raiders, to our base, our community, our families. It's extremely important. We're glad you're here to share this day with us. To all these commanders, senior enlisted, their families, leaders across this joint base, hey, thanks for spending the time with us today. To all our current and recently deployed Devil Raiders, I want to say thank you for your unwavering commitment to advising, directing, projecting air power anytime and anywhere. Now, perhaps most importantly, I want to welcome and I want to thank our family and friends. We've had a lot that have traveled from far away, from D.C. and Tennessee and Florida, Alabama, Oklahoma, Kansas. You're all here to celebrate with us. Celebrate with the 621 CRW and celebrate with the Jackson and Edwards families. Now, Colonel Jackson and Carrie, you too, are an amazing leadership team. We're all proud of you. We're proud of your kids, Nevada and Lincoln. Your family has sacrificed your time and your treasure, and you've done it for this wing. And if you are able to take away just a fraction of what you've given, you will be blessed tremendously as you leave this assignment. Now, to the Edwards family, to Mi Chun, your children Carry On and Brennan and Lauren, I want to tell you welcome. You're joining an amazing wing, and I just hope you understand the gravity of what's about to happen here today. We're entrusting you with a celebrated wing, the only one of its kind for this nation. It's an important milestone today. Everyone here is cheering for you, and we're wishing you nothing but great success. Now, Jacksons, this is not going to surprise you. And Edwards, you'll figure this out as we go along here, but I like to tell stories. All right? So sometimes I like to recount stories from other people. So today, when I stand up here and I think about the 621 CRW, and I look at the wing standing behind Colonel Benowitz, I think about warriors. I think about the Devil Raiders. I think about how you represent all the airmen that are currently deployed around the globe. You're executing our contingency response mission, so I'm reminded of a story that President Reagan told to the British Parliament while he was out promoting democracy during the Cold War. Okay, maybe you've heard it, but if you haven't, just bear with me. It's a story about an elderly woman who, like many in England during the World War II, her home, it was bombed during the Blitz. And her home was completely destroyed. So rescuers were moving through the rubble that had been her house, and they just happened upon a really expensive bottle of brandy. And just moments later, they happened upon her. Now, she was barely conscious. So one of the rescuers pulled the cork from the bottle of brandy, gave her a little sip, and she immediately snapped to. She looked at them, she looked at that bottle of brandy, and she said, there, young man. That is for emergencies. You put it back." So I'll tell you what, it's just like that stalwart Brit, the men and women proudly known as Devil Raiders. You are not novices when it comes to responding to emergencies. You've increased options for our nation. You've provided certainty in an uncertain world. In short, you are our nation's 911 force. You are for emergencies. So in a moment, when I finish speaking, we're going to formally recognize Colonel Jackson with the Legion of Merit for his absolutely phenomenal job that he's done leading this wing through some of our nation's most challenging emergencies. I want you to listen to the citation when it's read. Inside of that citation, there's weighty accomplishments. There's significant accomplishments. There are important accomplishments to the security of our nation. Before we get to that, I'm going to highlight a couple of things that you might not hear in there. You know, you only got to look at Colonel Jackson's priorities of mission and airmen and families to see that he's a leader who has a deep passion. He's got a deep passion for his mission. Contingency Response Wing has a long track record of mission success. These past 2 years, under Colonel Jackson's leadership, the 621 has been engaged around the globe. They've been in 21 nations, 6 continents, supporting the full range of contingency operations. They've done 38 partnership building capacity missions. They've done humanitarian support that have impacted the lives of 70,000 people who were in need. And at this very moment, his team is in Afghanistan, running the largest deployment in the history of the CRW, bringing all of our troops out of that nation in very short order. So these few mission successes that I've mentioned, and we could talk for an hour on them or more, they're impressive. There's no doubt about it. Our nation is stronger, it's safer, it's more secure. People around the globe are in a better place because you have served. Your Devil Raiders, they've answered our nation's call. But what strikes me profoundly, and perhaps even more than the mission success, is that alongside his steadfast dedication to rapid global mobility, he's demonstrated a deep passion for a strong and positive culture in this wing. So you see, Colonel Jackson cares about and cares for his airmen, and Devil Raiders are on the leading edge of airman performance with a positive culture. It's with great initiative that his airmen are developing the concepts which will enable our nation's future success across the spectrum of emergencies that we have yet to face. And through all of this, together with Carrie, Colonel Jackson has shown a deep passion for our families. So together, these two have invigorated airmen and family support and established a solid foundation that gives everyone, and I mean everyone, our airmen and our families, an opportunity to thrive. So it's important we recognize that teamwork today, that we reflect upon Carrie's contributions to this wing and to our base. And like Doug, Carrie is a caring and competent and capable. She's a great leader in her own right. So, Doug and Carrie, you have served selflessly. You are leaving an incredible mark on the 621st Contingency Response Wing. As you depart the fix, I want you to rest assured this wing is in a better place than when you got here. Together, your leadership cemented the 621st as a nation's 911 force, proven like no other, as capable to responding and handling every emergency that came your way. So I'll tell you, Godspeed and well done. Now, Colonel Edwards. Travis, in short order, with a few simple words, the awesome responsibility of command, of this command, is going to rest on your shoulders. I'm convinced that you are absolutely the right leader to author the next chapter of the great book that is the Contingency Response Wing's story. I am convinced also that the family support is extremely important. So before I start bragging on you anymore, I'm going to take a moment and speak to Michon, Carry-On, Brennan, and Lauren. Welcome to your new home, and welcome back to New Jersey. The Air Force has sent you a lot of places, and I know when you reflect back on this time, it'll be with a great sense of pride and affinity. Thank you. I want to thank you for the love and support that's no doubt played a major role in shaping the officer before us on this stage. Your family's about to grow by something like 3,000 people. So I'm excited for you, and I'm excited about what together you will bring to this great team. So, Colonel Edwards, you bring an exceptional set of skills and experience honed over your 25 years of service. So I want everyone to listen to this kind of closely. On the stage today is another great leader. Colonel Edwards is a graduate at the University of Tampa, a career mobility pilot. He served at Squadron Group. He served in Air Education and Training Command, Air Mobility Command, United States Transportation Command, the Air Staff. He's a Joint Qualified Officer and a former speechwriter for the Chief of Staff, United States Air Force. So Colonel Edwards comes to us most recently from MacDill Air Force Base. He's a graduated Operations Group Commander. He is uniquely prepared and qualified. He was competitively selected to command the nation's only contingency response wing. We're glad you're joining our team. I need you to lead these airmen well. They deserve your best every day. So I'm ready to close this out, but before I do that, I'm going to take a moment and I'm going to speak to the men and women of the 621st Contingency Response Wing. You need to know that my expectations of you, they do not change. You will charge forward into our nation's yet unforetold emergencies. Our Air Force and our nation, they need what you bring. They need competitive and curious, courageous, action-oriented airmen who are competent and professional, who treat each other with dignity and respect, and who, like the elderly lady in the story, they bear untold emergencies with a sense of calm and control. No one is better trained, no one is more prepared, no one is more ready, no one is more competent than you are. You are truly, and you must continue to be, always ready, always resilient, always caring. So I'll just say, may God bless the men and women of the Contingency Response Wing, our Air Force Expeditionary Center, our Air Mobility Command, our United States Air Force, and this great nation. It's an absolute honor to serve alongside you, and give them hell, Devil Raiders.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the presentation of the Legion of Merit to Colonel Jackson. Attention to orders. Citation to accompany the award of the Legion of Merit, 1st Oak Leaf Cluster, to Colonel Douglas D. Jackson. Colonel Douglas D. Jackson distinguished himself by exceptionally meritorious conduct in the performance of outstanding service to the United States as Commander, 621st Contingency Response Wing, Joint Base McGuire-Dix Lakehurst, New Jersey, from 28 May 2019 to 15 June 2021. During this period, Colonel Jackson demonstrated extraordinary leadership in the advancement of the Air Mobility Command's Rapid Global Mobility mission by masterfully focusing the wing's efforts to advise, direct, and project air power across 6 continents with over 700 missions and 38 building partnership capacity engagements in support of combatant command and Joint Chiefs of Staff requirements. In addition, he championed the wing's unique mission, deftly executed by empowered airmen operating from 21 worldwide locations, and his unwavering advocacy for mission, airmen, and families proved critical to posture the organization for success during senior leader engagements across the Department of Defense. Moreover, his strategic guidance and expert direction was decisive in rapidly deploying mobility teams to numerous emergent crises around the globe with the objective to initiate and accelerate humanitarian aid to over 70,000 citizens affected by natural disasters. Furthermore, Colonel Jackson directed the mobilization of an airbase opening group to establish a strategically significant operating base that provided combatant commanders with options to meet National Command Authority objectives. Additionally, in alignment with the Air Force Chief of Staff's action orders, he prioritized innovation, resulting in the creation of the first ever distributed command and control capability in support of United States Central Command and the Air Force's only expeditionary air-ground liaison element. Finally, culminating his command tour, he led the largest integrated contingency response force deployment in the history of the wing, enabling the presidentially directed air transportation of all United States forces from Afghanistan within 74 days. The superior initiative, outstanding leadership, and personal endeavor displayed by Colonel Jackson reflect great credit upon himself and the United States Air Force. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, Colonel Jackson.
So after my boss does it, I really have no choice. Colonel Benwitz, please put the wing at ease. Good morning. Today, as General Kammerer said, as always, is a great day to be a Devil Raider. To begin, I thank and acknowledge the members of this wing, 275 of them, executing our strategic mission on 5 continents around the world right now. These selfless warriors and their quiet acts of heroism represent the best of our wing and our nation. Thank you to General and Mrs. Kammerer and current and past leadership teams of the Expeditionary Center. You gave us the opportunity to lead, the autonomy to make it ours, and to make it special. I also thank the senior leadership teams of Air Mobility Command, who provided us a vision and then the trust and space to realize that vision. To my mission partner commanders and Joint Command teams, thank you for the friendship and support. Thank you as well to all our great and supportive civic leaders and partners around the world. Carrie and I also thank our extraordinary group and squadron leadership teams. You and the innovative and empowered airmen you lead deserve all credit for our wing accomplishments. I merely focused energy and trusted you unreservedly and without compromise. Thank you for earning that trust every day and giving hell when it needed to be given. Thank you to the wonderful teammates of our wing staff. You create administrative velocity, and everyone knows the elite squadrons you support are at the top of our pyramid. To the Devil Raiders who exquisitely planned and executed this ceremony, thanks for the care. A special thanks to the great 108th Wing. Not only do we borrow a lot of your talent, but we're also really grateful for the use of your hangar. Sincere thanks as well to Kyle and Michelle Benwitz, our Vice Command team. Thank you for your friendship and teamwork. Carrie and I could not have thrived without you, and even if we had, it wouldn't have been nearly as fun. We're also grateful to your predecessors, Brad and Melanie Hall. The Halls were fantastic leaders, teammates, and role models when our wing desperately needed all three. Special thanks as well to our command chief, Amy, and Mike Riley, her husband. Like the great team who preceded them, Command Chief Tony and Kim Jenkins, Amy and Mike have become more than just leadership team colleagues. They are friends for life and the force that propels our wing forward. Amy, Tony, Mike, Kim, thanks for the partnership of a lifetime. And Team Jackson, to my kind and resilient kids, Nevada and Lincoln, in absentia as they enjoy final days with their classmates before we move for the 8th time in Nevada's 10 years of life, thanks for your love and support. And finally, to Carrie, the far more talented, humble, professional, patient, patriotic, and strong Jackson. Thank you. You are the person in the world with whom I celebrate achievement, mourn loss, and vent frustration. And you do them so well, I know I take you for granted. You are also the standard for servant leadership, for dignified success, and for awe-inspiring parenting that I'm constantly trying to attain. I do not deserve your love, but I'm so grateful you're willing to overlook that minor detail. Now let's turn our attention to the Edwards family. Travis, Michan, Carry-On, Brennan, Lauren, and your extended team, welcome to the experience of a lifetime. We are eager to see you make the 621 CRW even more effective and special. We will be proud to watch you exceed our aspirations. Congratulations and Godspeed. As my final unsolicited act, I'll share my experience onboarding with this team. Before joining the 621 CRW, I'd always identified myself professionally by my duty position. I'd been a part of great organizations, but I retained my own identity and sense of self. I defined myself as a FAPE, a C5 pilot, or a commander, not by the totem of a unit. That changed for me and my family within weeks of joining this wing. The Devil Raider, as our historian deftly explains, is both an amalgam and homage to the mythical Jersey Devil and our swashbuckling contingency response pioneers. But what does it mean to be a Devil Raider? To begin, if you're a Devil Raider, you know how to train, exercise, and toil in squalor and obscurity, waiting for a requirement you pray never materializes. You also know the feeling of being a member of a larger functional community of hundreds or even thousands of airmen who, outside a handful of Devil Raiders, have no idea what you do. Furthermore, because of our culture, Devil Raiders know how to overcome resource gaps in order to become the teammate who fills critical needs. We don't walk by physical or metaphorical holes because it's not our job to fill them. We fill every hole and worry later whose job it is to make a permanent fix. In short, Devil Raiders are the multi-capable airmen that currently exist in mass only in visions of our senior leaders and right here. Devil Raiders also, because of our team-oriented nature, are content to accomplish the amazing feats General Kammerer described without concern for who receives the credit. Furthermore, we're adept at receiving and providing clear intent, and then combining that intent with smart autonomy, ingenuity, and empowerment to succeed around the world. When all our bureaucracies say a mission will require 200 people, we say challenge accepted, and do it with 37. Devil Raiders are also uniquely adept at telling loved ones, at a moment's notice, I need to leave for a critical mission, but I can't tell you where I'm going, and I can't tell you when I'll be back because I don't know. And finally, because of these attributes, Devil Raiders are also extraordinary teammates who seek equilibrium among our enduring priorities of mission, airmen, and families. In search of that balance, we cover down for those in need, we occasionally fail, and we strive to be a team that is always ready, but equally committed to being always resilient and always caring. Whenever I encounter Devil Raiders, past, present, or future, as they share their stories with me, I always follow up with the same reassuring response. Once a Devil Raider, always a Devil Raider. You see, I'm convinced, once you've been a part of a special organization like this, you never let it go. That mindset, that culture sticks with you and makes you a better airman or guardian, a better leader, wingman, friend, a better husband or wife, a better mother or father. Now, as my family and I prepare to formally depart, I pray that's true. In moments, we will leave proudly and hand over the flag to a phenomenal Air Force family, but we will never relinquish our Devil Raider spirit. We'll physically exit, excited for our next adventure, but we'll never be away. And if there is anything we can ever do to assist or serve anyone in our Devil Raider family, we'll be, like this wing, always ready. Thank you all for your service, your time, and for sharing in the honor of our lifetimes. May God bless each and every one of you, and may God continue to bless the United States of America.
Thank you, Colonel Jackson. The rendering of a final salute is an Air Force tradition and appropriate during a change of command ceremony. Today, the Devil Raiders of the 621st Contingency Response Wing will render a final salute to show respect and appreciation to Colonel Jackson. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the change of command. Attention to orders. Per order G-21-003, and by direction of the Commander, United States Air Force Expeditionary Center, Major General Mark D. Kammerer, Colonel Douglas D. Jackson relinquishes command, and Colonel Travis L. Edwards assumes command of the 621st Contingency Response Wing, effective 15 June 2021. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. The Commander, 621st Contingency Response Wing, Colonel Travis Edwards.
Thank you. Colonel Benwitz, please place the formation at ease. So before I get started, I had the opportunity to sit down yesterday with General Cameron for probably about an hour. And, he said, hey, do you have any questions for me? And I said, hey, sir, I'm prepping for my change of command speech, so what do you think I should talk about? He said, about 2 minutes. So we'll get going with that. In all seriousness, General Cameron, thank you for officiating today's ceremony. Michan and I look forward to working alongside you and Mrs. Cameron. We have a lot of distinguished visitors here today and special guests and mission partners. I would like to thank each of you for joining us today, and I look forward to meeting you after the ceremony. Today is a very special day for my family and me. It's not lost on me the sacrifices that my family make in service to this nation. Michan, Carry-On, Brennan, and Lauren, thank you for making this journey enjoyable the majority of the time. I know that it's not always easy, but I appreciate each of you. I have flowers for my 2 favorite ladies. And for my sons, I have a firm handshake following the ceremony. But for my ladies, I also want to thank my older brother, Lieutenant Colonel Roderick Edwards, who's on terminal leave, and his wife, Shalana, for driving up from the National Capital Region to be with me today. My brother is the reason why I joined the Air Force. Thank you for all your love and support. To all my other family friends, and I have quite a few here today that are sitting in the first 2 rows, and I have a couple in the back, and I want to take time to introduce them. Lieutenant Colonel Mark Smidra, retired, United States Marine Corps. Leslie Holzer, spouse of Captain Chris Holzer, United States Coast Guard. I spent time with them when I was at Marine Corps War College, and they're great friends. Chief Master Sergeant retired Don Breakwrights came in from Kansas. Lieutenant Colonel Vaughn and his wife Tanya, sitting in the back, United States Marine Corps. My former Deputy Commander, Lieutenant Colonel Corey Claggett. My former Superintendent at the 6th Operations Group, Chief Master Sergeant Liv Hornstra. My front office secretary, Ms. Kim, she came in as well. Thank you all for attending today. I look forward to joining you all later for fellowship. Thank you for being here. We all know that a ceremony like this does not magically happen. I want to thank Captain Nick Giuliano and Master Sergeant Russell Johnson for leading this event, as well as the 108th Wing for hosting this ceremony. Additionally, I want to thank all the key players who made this ceremony special for me and my family. I also want to thank those who helped set up and those who will help return the hangar to mission-ready status following tomorrow's change of command ceremony. And then also, I had one person that I forgot that I want to recognize, who I consider to be a friend. That's Colonel Wes Adams and his wife, Misty, who are sitting here, who will take command of the 87th Air Base Wing tomorrow. He was my neighbor when we were at MacDill, and we have the opportunity to work together again, and I'm really excited about that. Now, to the Devil Raiders, my family and I are excited to join your team. Thank you all for the warm welcome. It is obvious this wing focuses on excellence. My family and I look forward to meeting you and your families. Before I close, I want to thank the Jacksons for the warm welcome. It's not lost on me the service and sacrifice of Colonel Doug Jackson and his wife, Carrie. We all know military life is a family affair. No one can do it alone. No one. Doug and Carrie, thank you for serving and sacrificing. We hear those words a lot, but I tell you, when you think about the sacrifice that we go through whenever we're in positions with this great responsibility, my hat's off to you and Carrie. You made the Devil Raider tour all about the Devil Raiders, and it shows. This is definitely a high-performing team. Every time I talk with Colonel Jackson or Doug, he talked about the neat things that the Devil Raiders are doing around the globe, and I'm excited about joining this team. Doug, we wish you, Carrie, Nevada, and Lincoln all the success going forward. Again, I want to thank you all for attending, and God bless the 621, and God bless the United States of America. Thank you.
The service members of the 621st Contingency Response Wing will now render a first salute to show respect and recognition to Colonel Edwards. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for attending today's ceremony. You are cordially invited to a receiving line and reception in the back of the hangar to welcome Colonel Edwards and his family to the 621st Contingency Response Wing. Please stand and join us in singing the Air Force song and remain standing for the departure of the official party and dismissal of the formation.